Hey wannabes, it's the B-Man here from Chillin' with B. How's everyone doing? What you're looking at here is some pre-recorded footage of a game called Rogue Legacy. I'm not going to do too much commentary on it, I'll just give you a brief rundown. I had bought this game on Steam during the Steam summer sale, so it's a few months ago. Got it dirt cheap, I think it was like $3 really, and it's a great game. Classic. It plays similar to a Castlevania game or a Metroid, one of those kind of games. Side-scroller, action game. It's very roguelike. You're gonna, has RPG elements. And you're gonna die a lot. I mean, this game is about you're gonna die. That's plain and simple. And if that bothers you, stay away. And usually it does bother me actually, so I can't say that. But this game is kind of fun. You die and you come back. You start fresh. Except in this game, you play as descendants and you can keep playing and playing. You earn money that gets erased at the beginning of your next every time you come back. But before it gets erased, you have a chance to buy upgrades, which those are permanent. So you can increase your life, your mana, you can unlock new characters, types, and it's pretty cool. So little by little, the more you play, you're going to get further and further just by that alone. And that's pretty much what this game is, to try to get as far as you can. I'm sure it can be beat. I have not gotten to that point. You're going to see in this playthrough, I'm going to die a number of times, but each time I'm going to get a little further and further and unlock stuff. So enjoy this gameplay, and I'm going to do some talking about other stuff now. Okay, so now that that's out of the way, I want to wish everyone a happy holiday. We're approaching the Christmas week, and you know what? Bah humbug! Happy holidays, everyone, but it's really a pain in the butt time of year. And you're probably wondering, like, why? Well, first of all, we have to buy gifts for people. And I know it's better to give than to receive. I don't know if I necessarily agree with that, but we'll say that to the kids so they grow up with the right moral compass. But, bullshit. I am dead broke all the time, and you have to go and buy gifts for people. And if you don't, you're looked down as a Scrooge and a cheapskate. So you gotta make the best of it and put on a good show. Don't get me wrong, I like receiving gifts too. But even with my best friend, we made an agreement. You know what? Instead of you going and giving me something and I give you something, we just call it even, and that's it. You don't have to worry about fighting the crowds, which is another thing about this time of year. The crowds are so bad. I mean, even if you just want to go to the supermarket to get like a stick of butter, you're going to fight off people who are shopping for the holidays for meals and whatever else. The traffic, just getting home from work, is multiplied. You know what? I am all for the Christmas spirit and the niceness, and I get that part, but a lot of it is also a pain in the butt. But there's good things at Christmas too, and you'll find occasional people who are a little bit more generous, doing the right thing, charity and what have you, and that's good. I also think there's a high suicide rate during Christmas. It's very depressing for a lot of people, so let's just bring this down a bit. Anyway, that out of the way, happy holidays, and I'm going to talk about some shows and stuff now that I'm watching. I got about 15 minutes of this video going, Rogue Legacy, so I'll try to match about as much talking to go with that. If I run out of things to talk about, then you just got video to watch. Lucky you. Alright, so as far as TV goes, if you've listened to any of my audio podcasts, which I've pretty much canceled at this point in favor of doing these YouTube videos, but I've always talked about Arrow, and I just can't reiterate for anybody who's new listening, check out the show Arrow. It follows the character Green Arrow. It's a comic book character, and it's just an amazing show. I think it's one of the best shows on TV, especially if you're into comic books. If you're not, I think you still may like it because especially the first season was very grounded in reality. Yeah, the guy is like super, kick-ass, whatever, but he didn't have any special powers. Season 2 is changing that now, so they're getting ready to introduce powers. In fact, they just finished their mid-season finale, and they pretty much introduced Barry Allen, who is the Flash, and he gets his power at the end of this episode, although we haven't seen it yet because he's supposed to be getting his own series. But that's pretty much that. We also now have people with incredible super strength thanks to serums. So it's entering the real comic book world. But it's an amazing show, and they still, even with that, they still keep it very grounded in reality for as much as you can. Pretty much like Dark Knight series, the Batman movies, Nolan, where they had a guy dressed as a bat, but they made you believe this was really possible. And Arrow follows that as far as to this point, has followed it. I don't know where things are going to go now that all these superhero characters are coming in. But as of this point, it was a very believable show, and I can't wait to see where it goes from there. But another show I want to talk about is called Almost Human, and I don't think that show's doing as well in ratings as it should be, and may even not make it to another season. And I hope that changes, because I think it's an incredible show. It stars, have to forgive me, I'm getting over a bad cold. If I sound nasally, congested, that's just the resonance of that, and I apologize. Anyway, Almost Human, it's pretty cool. It stars Carl Urban. He's no stranger to the sci-fi genre. He played Judge Dredd in the new Dredd movie. Amazing movie, by the way. Check that out. And he also plays in the Star Trek movies. He plays Dr. McCoy in the reboots by Abrams. Very good. I think he's a great actor. The guy who plays his partner, who's a robot in this show, he's very good too. I think his name might be Michael Ealy. I'm not sure. I'm sorry if I messed that up. He's best known, I think, for playing a character in a movie called Barbershop, which came out in 2000, 2002. I had looked it up. I forgot already. I'm doing this while driving, so I don't have notes in front of me. But I don't know how he is in those movies. It's the first time I've ever seen him in anything, and I think he's a great actor too. The show takes place in the future, 2040, around that area, and Detective Hennix, or Kennix, God, I really should be more prepared when I do this. Please forgive me. It comes from the heart. When I tell you I love something, I do. Do I always have the facts about things? No. So just forgive me. Like I said, I wing this. I do these while driving to work. I can't do it around the house because there's always noise. Anyway, I'm rambling on. About Almost Human. It takes place in the future. Cops can't do things on their own, so robots are created to be their partners. The robots are a little robotic. They don't really necessarily think for themselves. They just take orders. And this ends up getting Carl Urban's character's team killed, and he ends up getting his leg blown off. He gets put in a coma for 2 years. He wakes up. He wants to find out who did this. That's an overarching story, but they haven't really gone back to that yet. And he really doesn't like these robots. He feels they got his team killed. In addition to him, he feels a little guilt for himself too. But they pair him with a special robot. And this robot was built to be pretty much human. It thinks for itself. It can feel. It has feelings, or at least what it's programmed to feel. And it's very hard to tell this character from the other robots. I should say it's very hard to tell them from humans. So, it makes for an interesting premise. And the comedy between these two is, I think, one of the best aspects of this show. I mean, I just laugh when these two are on screen together. So it's very good. It's got a lot of action, cop drama. There's always crimes to solve every week. I highly recommend checking out Almost Human, especially if you're into the sci-fi genre. And maybe the ratings will go up, and I hope it gets renewed. It's a great show. It's on Fox. I watch it off of Hulu, but I think it's on Fox. And that's that for Almost Human. Alright, I'll get ready to wrap things up on my end as far as audio. One last thing I want to talk about is the movie Kick-Ass 2. I recently just decided to buy it off the Google Play Store. I kind of wanted to catch it this past summer, but it got mixed reviews. It seemed like mostly negative, so I put off on doing that. However, I did end up purchasing it on the Play Store and watched it. I'm a big fan of the first one, and I gotta tell you, the second one, it didn't disappoint me. I don't think it was as good as the first one, but I was laughing a lot during the movie, and I think it retained a lot of the same elements of the first one. It's stupid comedy, but whatever. In this one, we see the character who played Red Mist in the first one. His father was the mafia boss that got killed at the end by Kick-Ass. And Red Mist blames Kick-Ass for this, and he becomes the world's first supervillain. In case you didn't know, Kick-Ass was a movie about just an ordinary kid who decides to put on a mask and be like a real-life superhero. And all the crap that comes with that, the beatings and stuff, and pretty much stuff that explains why it can't really be done. But it's a lot of comedy, and it was very dark. Kick-Ass was this funny movie, actually. It was like 2 parts. It was like a comedy in the beginning, and then it became like this action superhero movie, and then it became like very dark at the end. It's actually one of the few movies I actually liked Nicolas Cage's character in. And now in Kick-Ass 2, we have Jim Carrey playing a character, and if I didn't know ahead of time that Jim Carrey was in the movie, I wouldn't even recognize him. He doesn't look anything like Jim Carrey I remember seeing from, Ace Ventura days and stuff. He plays a superhero in this as well. I don't know if I should use the word superhero because they don't have superpowers, but whatever. Costumed hero. And he plays, I think the guy's name is Stars and Stripes, and he has a bat, and he sicks his dog on people to attack their wieners. It's pretty funny, actually. So, yeah, Kick-Ass 2. Despite what the reviewers say, I would say check it out. If you're into superhero comic book genre stuff, if you like a good comedy and you're not afraid of a little violence, definitely check out Kick-Ass 2. So with that, I'm going to end my audio, and whatever is left, just enjoy this gameplay footage. Till next time, later wannabes.